All right, man. Let's get into it. You you want to talk about the DC big news first, or
Yeah, let me.
uh,
I guess I'll talk about it. I think I'm the only person here that actually reads the comics. So,
oh, which one? Oh, well, etc. Go
which
ahead.
DC was it? Which DC one are you talking about? There's a couple of
I
DC.
was
You talk
talking
about
about
Super
yeah, I was talking about Superboy.
Superman.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
what I'm talking about.
Superman. No, it is Superman, the son of Kal-El.
Okay.
That's his comic.
Yeah, that's the comic name. So yeah, once again, the media has just screwed up. Totally disrespected comic books once again by just spoiling the crap out of a comic book well before it came out. So it's a comic book that I actually read. And first of all, they disrespected the readers by spoiling it. It'd be like literally telling you what happened in the next episode of a TV show, like a week before it came out. And I was just like, what the hell? Like it was kind of going that way anyway in the comics. So I kind of wanted the writers to like write their story so I could see where it was going. And they also with the headlines, the media just totally screwed up the headlines on this on purpose to rile up people. They said that Superman came out as gay. Technically, it's sort of correct, but no, it's not. Because if you say Superman comes out as bi, everybody thinks you're talking about Clark Kent Kal-El, not his son Jonathan. So his son Jonathan is the one who comes out as bi in the issue that just dropped today. But the media reported on it like last week. So I was pretty disappointed and pissed off that they did that. And then, of course, all the typical homophobic and right wing backlash of my Superman's not gay, blah blah. Don't worry, your white savior's still okay. All right, he's still fine. There's another story there too where he leaves the planet, but they didn't talk about that at all. That's like actually the kind of more important story. But and his son is taking over the mantle of Superman while he's gone. So that's why I said technically they're right. But when you say Superman, everybody thinks of Kal-El, not Jonathan. So it's just
Yeah.
super messed up. And yeah, Jonathan is also doing things that Superman was never doing at all. Like actually helping small people and like he's not just saving lives, but he's picking up sort of more um, justice issues. Like there was a group of refugees that came over that got stranded in the ocean. And he brought them to America, and immediately when they landed, the police just started locking them up. They started putting them in handcuffs. And Jonathan was like, "Hey, wait! Like my dad was an immigrant. Like, what are you doing?" It's like they're gonna go to jail. You got to put me in jail too. And like they're tackling other issues that Superman usually doesn't tackle, but they don't want to talk about any of that. Just want to talk about he's bi. So
Is Jonathan the same one? Because I get my Superboys fucking confused. So
Superboy
um,
is usually
it,
it's what's his name? That's Connor, isn't it? That's the
Connor.
clone.
Yeah.
It's usually the
so wait,
clone.
hold up. Which one was the one in Future State?
So that's technically there's two Superboys, I guess, because they had Future State. I think he was Superboy as well, but he was a little bit younger. Now he just graduated high school, I think, in this comic,
Well,
and he's
that
going to
was not
college.
that was not Connor. I'm sorry.
No, that was definitely Jonathan.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because then they
Because
and that was
I
also,
read that one and I like what they had. I like what they had going on, but yeah, I don't read this Superboy. I read Superman.
well, technically it's a Superman comic.
Mhm.
But is
So
it is it's not the Action Comics though.
no, but it's also
Yeah.
it's because Jonathan is supposed to take over as Superman, which they've been talking about for a while now. Like Jonathan taking over the mantle of Superman, even in Future State. When he goes in the future and comes back, like
Yeah.
Batman and Superman talk about him taking over the mantle as Superman because he's more human based than as far as like his morals and stuff. Like he actually cares about Earth as a whole and like the people on Earth rather than just like trying to save the Earth as a whole. Like
But was this? I'm sorry, I'm still confused. Is this still? This is not the one that's like half Lex though.
no, this is definitely
Okay.
the son
Okay.
of
With
Clark
the son of Lois and
and
Clark.
Lois. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, the
I'm gonna.
Heartlex one. That's Connor.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's gone. He's
Like
a
I said,
clone.
I get my Superboys confused. I still don't, and I know it's canon. I know they've changed it a million years ago, and this is kind of off topic, but I still don't necessarily like the whole idea of Superman, a fucking alien, being able to reproduce with a Earth human, like just fucking easily. Like for decades and decades, that was not the
Super.
case.
Yeah,
That was completely impossible, and they wrote it as like impossible because of DNA and dip mixing, and you just can't do it. they could fuck, but they couldn't reproduce. And then all of a sudden they said, nope, that didn't happen. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I
DC
mean,
can DC
it
can do
just.
what they want.
I mean, depending on what you're reading, I mean, he has a kid. He has two kids with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and she's not human either. She's a
I mean, the Amazons are at least Earth
Technically,
based.
Mm,
she's made out of
they're
clay.
No,
gods.
No,
Yeah, she's a
technically
demigod.
she's made out of clay, technically. But
Yeah,
but then they changed that even. Like they
Well,
did
yeah,
that for
she's the
PlayStation
son.
2 for a
She's the
while.
daughter. She's either made of clay or she's the daughter of Zeus.
Yeah.
So,
I thought the well, because I read Wonder Woman pretty consistently. They kind of backtracked on the whole clay stuff hard as fuck of recent years. But sorry, we're going way off. Uh, DC can do whatever the fuck they want to. Maybe this will give this publicity will help them with sales. Maybe it won't.
mm,
I can't call it. I can't call it. But it's not something where I'm gonna. Again, I don't read this specific book. I'm not gonna be against it. I'm not gonna say how dare you or anything like that. It does sound like it's possibly a change because again, I don't know my Superboys all that well. Possibly, but even if it is, like I said, with the Lois being able to get pregnant with Clark's seed, that was a change. You know, these are fictional characters. They can do anything they fucking want. Go ahead.
mm.
this is how kind of like clickbaity and like pick and choose your own adventure with to try to rile up the public's outrage is that a couple of months ago, DC started doing this whole Pride series, and nobody decided to say anything about that. Even this is Aquaman becoming. This is what I'm holding up, and this is a gay Aquaman, and nobody said a damn thing. So it just goes to show that they just trying to push people's buttons to rile them
Was
up
that
and like feel some sort of way.
was that? It looked like Aqualad turning into Aquaman. Is that correct on that one?
I think I haven't read this one, but he does look like Aqualad.
Okay.
So at least he's black. It looks at he's black. Anyway.
Yeah. So that's Calderon.
Yeah, and then also there's the Crushing Lobo because she's gay as well. There's a few other ones too. I didn't pick up all of them, but I picked up a few of the Pride ones. So yeah.
Yeah, the biggest news to me, the one that was way more shocking and something that I do read consistently, was the Tim Drake bisexual news. Obviously,
That
he's
one
a Robin and one of the smart Robins, and pretty beloved. And he's always been in Detective Comics and a whole bunch of other tales of the Bat family and whatnot. Again, no problem with it. It is what it is. I don't know if he had his own book at the time. Tim Drake. Maybe you can fact check me, Kronos. Did Tim Drake have a book? I don't think so.
I get most Bat books, and
Yeah,
he's definitely. I even get
remember.
Robins, and he's not on there. So
Yeah, yeah. But it
Mm.
was totally fine. Again, it is what it is. But I do not like the the spoiling stuff, especially
Yeah.
if you're trying to get your comics on a Wednesday. But at the same time, I think DC's also at fault because they did a whole bunch of press releases about this. A
Mhm.
whole bunch.
yeah.
So go ahead.
Just stop spoiling stuff for the readers, man. I mean, I'm already kind of behind on like quite a few comics, but I was definitely caught up on that one, and I was just like, oh, like, damn, just totally spoil it for me.
Oh,
Get in here, old ninja. Go ahead.
So I want to touch on this more and then jump back to the media thing. So this news has reached all the way up, through Hollywood because Dean Cain, who played Superman in the Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, he commented on the bisexuality of Jonathan Kent, even though he said, I'm pretty sure he has no idea that this is not Kal-El, but he said, quote, "They said it's a bold new direction. I say they're bandwagoning," end quote. So, I mean, that was his comments on it. I guess he's on video saying this. I'm pretty sure he's on Fox News about it.
Yeah.
Yes, he is on Fox News about it.
Of course.
Actually, he says a lot of comments. I'm not going to... It's actually on my screen now. I'm not going to put the sound up. But I don't know who asked him, but he does looks like a very animated commentary about
Again,
by
It's
Superman.
not Clark Kent. And even
Exactly.
if it was,
Nope.
the only reason why I would care if it was Clark Kent is only because he's married to Lois right now.
Yep.
Yep.
Or. Mhm.
So yeah, that would be super weird if he came out as bi when he's married to Lois right now, and it wouldn't fit in his storyline at all. But yeah, it's they keep just saying Superman, but everybody's thinking of the wrong person. So it just speaks to just like rampant ignorance. And yeah, I get it. You don't read comics, but just don't. I don't speak on quantum physics. Besides like the very basic stuff that I sort of understand, but not really. You don't see me going on the news talking about quarks and shit because I don't know what I'm talking about. Because these people they don't know the material that they're talking about.
Yeah. Let's also go back to that Lois and Clark series, which I really did like at the time.
Oh.
The thing that was great about that series, let's be fucking honest, was Terry Hatcher looking bad as fuck in the 90s.
Yeah.
Terry Hatcher was this slim, thick, bad. She just exuded sexuality. She was the hottest fucking Lois we've ever fucking gotten. Even to this date, she just. I don't know. Everybody had a thing for fucking Terry Hatcher, and especially in that series. She
So
outshined Kal-El in every fucking scene, and people watched the series not for Superman, for her. Get the fuck out of here, Dean.
I mean, let's be real. The Lois Adventure, it was a fucking romantic comedy fucking TV series. I mean, to be real about it.
And you
I
can't
mean,
say,
it wasn't like.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Curtis.
I was gonna say you can't say don't sexualize Superman because there's like plenty of sexual shit in that show. Like got to put shirts off, making out, all this stuff. So it's like, get out of here, man. You know what you're talking about. Just stop.
Yeah.
So
as if he's some Superman expert.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, he is in 2 Superman TV shows, and he says this, which is, I don't know what to take of this. He says, "quote Brave would be having him fight for the rights of gay people in Iran, where they throw you off a building for the offense of being gay." End quote.
That's the funny thing, that this is even how crazy it is, because the actual Superman that we're talking about, Jonathan, does fight for rights just like that.
Yep.
Like he goes around and fights for like the smaller issues that Clark isn't really interested in. And so this speaks even more on the ignorance. And for someone to say like, oh, well, he played Superman twice, he should know about Superman. No, get the fuck out of here. Actors act as doctors. Do you think they're actually fucking doctors? Do you think they read a medical book? So get out of here. They're playing pretend.
And let me just piggyback though. I've seen Clark Kent Kal-El do pretty much exactly that in terms of fighting for immigrants, in terms of going to other countries and inserting himself, trying to save people by the thousands and millions. Like Clark Kent does fight for people who are mistreated all over the fucking planet in his fiction and in his mythology for, what is it, 80 years now?
Yeah, what's the name of that fictional place? It's basically the Middle East. It's like...
yeah, the one... Oh, God.
It's not correct.
I always
it's like
mispronounce
something with a
it.
K.
Something with a K and a Q.
The one with the one from... shit. The one where...
Black Adam and...
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the one where... the one from... like the European one. The one where Tara and her brother are from. Because it's featured heavily in season 3 of Young Justice.
Yeah. I can't pronounce that shit for.
Yeah,
for
I
life
remember
of me.
that one either.
You know
it's like
I know
it's like a
Yeah.
Klizlakistan or some shit like that.
pretty much.
I'm saying it terribly. It's something like that. But they have a huge like history. It's like I feel like it's the DC version of Latveria, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's almost. I mean, the setup is almost identical.
Yeah.
So, like that. So I mean, going back a little bit to the media with comics and games sometimes, and even TV shows. Like, I was reading some prominent internet news site, and they're talking about Legends of Tomorrow, and they spoiled the fact that one of the characters dies literally 3 fucking weeks before the episode aired. I'm like, what the fuck? Because they were making this huge commentary, like they don't know what to do with John. It was John Constantine actually, because the season's over. But
oh yeah,
they were like, they didn't know what to do with John Constantine. There's only so many Constantine's been around for decades, but okay. I mean, there's a Swamp Thing, but there's an issue with that because it was on DC Universe. Now it's on. I don't. Oh, actually, it's not even on HBO Max. At least not yet. I'm like, dude, they haven't even introduced Swamp Thing into the Arrowverse. There's plenty of stories between him and John Constantine. That's not introduced, but yet they want to kill him off. And this article tells me 3 weeks ahead of time that he's going to die. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? I had no idea this was coming. Same with certain games. Like, certain games will spoil, like, endings and stuff before the game's release. It doesn't happen often, but it happens sometimes because they got a chance to play it and beat the game. More so at comics, definitely recently. Like, I've noticed for the last couple years, they will spoil shit like a good month and a half before issue's released. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you guys are fucking up the floor. Let people enjoy the story the way that the writers and artists intended it. Like, you don't have to, like, spill out all the fucking shit. They did that shit with Immortal Hulk. They did some of that shit with, like, what else was I reading? I think some of the High Republic stuff, they did it with, like, they've done it with Batman, Superman. They just continue to do this shit. And it's fucking like, dude, we are paying our money to read this stuff as it comes out. We want to enjoy it the way that it was intended to be. I don't need to read an article, have you spill out not only your review, but literally the whole plot line of the fucking book. Or comic, in that case.
I found the names of the countries. So one is Bayala, which is literally the Middle East. The other one is Kandak, which is where Black Adam is from, and Markovia is kind of in the same realm. It's supposed to be a European nation, but
that's it, Markovia. If you watch Black Lightning, Markovia is like hugely centered in it. That's the other one. Latveria, Markovia.
Yeah, that's pretty
decent. Also, real quick shout out. One of the best books, it was either last year or 2019. I can't remember the fucking year. Maybe I read it late, but Superman Fights the Klan was something. And so,
it was last year.
You know, for anybody thinking, oh, well, Superman doesn't ever, get involved in anything other than beating up Lex Luthor and Brainiac. Nah, there's been some real life stuff and whatnot. So it is what it is.
Well, people pretend that, comic books are, political neutral, which is that's totally incorrect. Like, from the beginning of comic books, it's been very politicized. Even manga is politicized. I mean, it came from during shortly after World War II, it was super politicized. And same thing with like Captain America. Hello, like fighting Nazis. I mean, come on, man. And Black Panther, there's a whole bunch of them that's been politicized. So it's just people that just want to complain about something that they don't actually consume on any level. They don't understand it. So
and here's the other thing too. Even at the end of the day, let's say for whatever stupid ass reason, in my opinion, this hurts your sensibilities. Nobody has a gun to your head. You're free to not buy that comic if you don't want to. You know what I mean? I think that's a dumb reason, but you don't have. Nobody's forcing you to buy anything. That's the other thing. Like, it's always weird to me. I'm going to complain about something that I don't want to buy. Okay, don't buy it. Case solved.
You know, I do the same thing. Like when was the worst offender was not Captain America, Miss America. Oh my god, I hated that comic. I thought it was gonna be dope because she went from like going from the Ultimates and being like some badass to like going back to college and like literally fighting white privilege in like the most terrible sort of way. And I was just like, you're somebody that can literally punch holes through universes and smash, like Omega level events. And you're going back to college, and you're fighting college kids. Like, like the writer was just like so terrible. I was just like, man. But then I stopped buying it. Then I complained about it, but I read it. So.
Yep. Oh my god. So it is what it is. All right. Where you want to go next, guys?